originally, the initial value I got from Food Dog right off the beginning is the thought of, if you're going to 10x your business, you got to 20x yourself. If I had this level of support 10 years ago, man, I feel like I could conquer anything in the world. You know, I could probably be president of the United States if I wanted to. But yeah, it's incredible. The real value is that it shrinks the time, right? You don't have to go through the trial and error of learning these things. Is that when you're there with people who've been there and have done that and been through the process, not only professionally in your business, but also personally in your life, struggled with things in life, that's the fast path, is going there, seeing how they think, and that pulls you through and gets you out of the rut that you're in faster. It gets you to wealth faster. It gets you to health faster. That's the real value.
When I was 26, I moved from New York to California. On that plane ride, I read Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. The book absolutely changed my life. So since that time, I've seen Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar when he was alive, Jack Canfield, Colonel McChrystal, the list goes on and on. One of the things, and I say this with great pride about Food Dog Group, dude, these guys are at a completely different level, 100%. They work from a different perspective. So the vantage point that they're coming from, and I'm not taking anything away from those speakers that I mentioned because they were fantastic, just this comes at it on a different approach and gets a different result. So again, I would encourage you to seek out the Food Dog Group for their personal development and personal up-leveling mastery.
The impact, I think, especially going through this event with my dad, kind of comes full circle because this is happening at a time where I'm about to have my first child. So us coming at it together, those blessings that I'll bring home, I can bring on to him. And then eventually down the road, maybe we will do the same. So it's already a cycle of just personal power that we've created.
Food Dog Group is like the family that you never had. You know, most of us have family that we're born into, right? And when you get to choose your family, that's what Food Dog is like. It's people who are hungry to grow themselves, who are wired to give and serve others, and to show up and be fully present for themselves and each other. And so if you want to run with a pack of leaders that are doing great things, that's a place for you. If you like to have fun and experience new things, That's what Food Dog Group is like. If you want to feel the support, compassion and empathy from others who are on a similar journey and share maybe life experiences where you get stuck, that's for you. And if you want to get results and you're looking for process, that is what Food Dog Group is about.
I mean, I would tell them to, to come to the training and try it out. And, you don't know what you don't know until you see it, and then you know you need it, right? And if they answer any question that anybody asks them, and how's their personal life, how's their relationship with their wife, how's their business, and they say, oh, it's good. If you don't say anything other than it's absolutely freaking amazing, then you've got a problem. You've got a problem somewhere in your personal life, somewhere in your business, and Mike's the guy that'll help you figure out what that is and then move you forward.
The biggest transformation was just being able to let go of all the crap. Just let it go. And it is seriously that simple.
The biggest transformation for me is her ability to let go. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just teasing. I'm just having fun. It's really just about that. That's really a breakthrough for me too. Just holding on to these things that just aren't serving us. Me. Things aren't serving me. That I had to get rid of because I got a lot of shit. Had a lot of shit. It gone.
What makes Food Dog different is super simple. It's because it's growing you. It's growing you, So all of the other companies I've been involved with, and they're great at teaching you how to do processes and things like that. And I knew from day one when I started searching for somewhere else to go that I needed somebody that would help grow me, because as Mike loves to say, to 10x anything, you got to 20x yourself. And Mike really puts that focus on us, to grow us, to allow us the ability to grow everything else that we have in our lives. So I would tell you, if you're on the fence and you're trying to decide whether to get in a group like this, I would tell you, quit thinking about it and jump. If you have that fear right now about jumping, it's the right thing to do. Don't be afraid to spend the money. The money's going to come back to you. You need to grow yourself.
The big difference right now for me is that being able to do this together.
Yeah.
It's one of the first mindset things that we've done together. I've always gone and traveled on my own to do this, and then we always bring it back and we process together.
Correct.
But doing this together is, to me,
I think it's been better to actually be able to physically do it together.
because yes, she would do a lot of the traveling. She's done Tony Robbins and stuff like that, and she'd bring it back and we'd discuss it, or that night she'd call and we discuss it. And there's great things that I can learn secondhand from it and that she's learned firsthand. But being able to actually do it together, there's just so much more growth that is possible because I'm experiencing it with her, but I'm also getting my own perspective to bring to it that then we can discuss.
I would say just even in the last couple months, our relationship has gotten so much closer.
It's shifted a lot.
I know.
It's allowed me to grow from, thinking I can only do this to being able to do whatever I want. I just have to shift my identity. I have to figure out, or I find out the next one and I make it happen. And I know what my next one is. To, like I said, step into a role to help her to take on more rather than just being, a worker doing my own thing.
The whole worker identity versus other identities.
Yeah, like an advisor or, being part of this business. I've been in manufacturing for so long. Medical's different. Mindset work is different. Coaching, I can do more than what I've thought I could do before.
You sure as fuck can do more than you ever thought before.
Yes, I can.
Thank you. I see connections that are really important. I also see me asking more people for help and receiving it. I've always been a lone wolf and feeling really alone with that. And I'm dropping my lone wolf finally. Whew.
That's good.
I know, it's great. But that's what I see moving forward is being part of a pack instead of being a lone wolf. That's been really rough. So I'm excited about that.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks from the hit television show Shark Tank. Have you had to make the choice between a fulfilling personal life or a successful professional career? This often results in either not achieving important financial goals or building up wealth at the expense of a rewarding family. Although it may seem implausible, people can achieve success in both their personal and business lives. Are you ready to meet someone who could have the answers for you? Meet Mike Agliaro. He's an author, speaker, investor, and thought leader who has experienced several business exits that have been successful at the same time that his personal life has flourished. Mike is now sharing his formula for a full life through his company, the Food Dog Group. They have cracked the code, allowing people to grow and expand their entire lives to achieve the impact that they want while building the wealth that they desire. This can all be achieved while experiencing fulfilling relationships and family lives. You need to learn about Food Dog Group's unique processes, which combine ancient wisdom and modern strategies to elevate every area of life. Go to fooddog.com to discover how Mike and his company can work with you right now. Thank you for listening.
When we break the tipping point, when we go over the edge where it's 3 million every month and 3 million's a walk in the park, guess who the game changes for?
All of us.
Everybody in the room. I am with with my beautiful goddess of a wife for over 33 years.
Mike is now sharing his formula for a full life, allowing people to grow and expand their entire lives to achieve the impact that they want while building the wealth that they desire.
So if you are a business owner, if you run a mastermind group, you want to be involved with Mike. Take it from me, somebody who's worked with him on multiple levels. Mike is the real deal.
If there's one person in my list of who to surround yourself with, it's Mike Aguilera.
And now, please welcome Mike Aguilera.
Boom! Hey, welcome everybody. Super nice to see you. Oh man, I got so many friends on here. Firewalking Kevin, what's happening? My man, Hank, Vicky, Matt, Nick, what is going on, everybody? This is going to be super exciting. Melanie in the house, Christy. Hey, nice to see you guys. Those of you that don't have your cameras on, hey, just click the go below down there, the little camera video. This way I could see you, you could see me. We'll make some magic together. Hey, Bart Henderson, I feel like we were just spending time together today. Just so I have a little framing of who's here, if you've been in my world for a while, type in the chat bar, how long have you been in my world? If you've either attended an event, maybe did a firewalk or something, maybe hung out, maybe you're in one of our programs. My son says 24 years. I'm glad the math is adding up there. If you're new to my world, because you tripped across some ad or advertisement, type in new in the chat bar. You got 4 years, almost 10 years. Yeah, 9 months. Okay. And hey, those of you that are new, welcome. Thank you. Those of you that have been in my world for a while, hey, Ray, what's happening? If you were to kind of put a word in the chat bar that would maybe explain me or Food Dog or what I've done or what I've maybe helped you with, what's the one word you would put in the chat bar? Hey, Rita, welcome. I'm glad you're here with us tonight. Relentless, inspiring, life-altering, elevated. Oh man, this is some way to unleash me tonight for you guys. Determined, life-changing, excited. All right, well, I say we do it. Let's get started. If you're okay and up for that, make sure you get a pen and paper. Okay, get a pen and paper. Let's make some notes. We have a great presentation. I hope this is why you're here. Okay, there we go. Boom. So today, and I'll make sure I can see the chat bar, I want to talk with you and not at you. So if it's cool with you, as I'm sharing things, if you could either give me a big boom in the chat bar, that will let me know that you recognize something. Why don't we just test it out real quick? Everybody give me a big boom in the chat bar. Or maybe an insight comes across and you want to type the insight in there. That'd be awesome too. But when I was thinking the other day, I was like, hey, what do I think the world may be thinking about? And maybe myself and my whole team, and I got a whole team. So team, if you could say hello in the chat bar, tell them who you are and what you do, that'd be really awesome, because I'm I'm just the presenter tonight. Without the team that built the slide deck, makes all the magic, communicates with all of you, they're going to say hi to you in the chat bar. They're going to make sure they're putting notes and insights. Also, maybe there's somebody in your world that should be on this. And if that's the case, why don't you send them the link? Maybe the team could pop the link in there, because one of my pet peeves, is it okay if I share a pet peeve for you with you tonight? Give me a big boom in the chat bar if that's okay. My pet peeve is people that complain about a problem and do nothing different about the problem. Can you guys relate? Type in relate in the chat bar if you can relate to that. They're like, oh, I don't have, I wish I had, it's everyone else's fault. And then I'm like, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll go for probably a little over 60 minutes here. And I'm like, I'll tell you what, I will spend 60 minutes. I'll give you amazing information, new ways to think, new programming, insights, and then they don't show up. It really just blows my mind. So maybe the first note to write down, and maybe write 2024 for you, is show up. Show up. Because what we're going to do here today is we're talking about elevating your wealth, right? Elevating your wealth. And in order to elevate your wealth, you have to show up. You have to show up in life. You got to show up. It's your very best self. So tonight's is sponsored by Gaines Golden Farb and Associates. Just so you guys know, who's a business owner? Type in business owner in the chat bar if you're a business owner. Just so you guys know that are business owners, if you're looking for a fractional CFO service, that is somebody who manages your numbers, gives you the reporting. I will just tell you, not only a good friend of mine, Mike Gaines, who owns this company, he's also helped Michael and Ray. Some of you guys already might work with Mike Gaines. He is the man. He's helped me manage my numbers for selling multiple companies, and also is our fractional CFO. Fractional meaning he's not in our office. If any of you would like a connection, type in connection in the chat bar, and we do have an email here, and you could email us and say, hey, I want a connection. I want to put a fractional CFO in my company because I want to make sure someday when I'm ready to exit and sell, my numbers are good. And I will tell you, most businesses, and especially since we invest and partner in businesses, their numbers are crappy. So if you are looking for someone like that, hit us up. Otherwise, today is sponsored by Gaines Golden Farb and my friend Mike Gaines. All right, quick little disclaimer. This is not a business training. If you want to write a note down, to scale anything, you must scale yourself. Okay? Write it down, everybody. To scale anything, you must scale yourself. Every company I scaled, it's been 80%. I don't want to say psychology, because it's been the internal, the external, the programming, the thinking, but it's been 80% of it. 20% of it is marketing, sales, operations, systems, leadership. Anybody can do those things if they got the what I would call the personal growth side dialed in. If they don't have the personal growth side dialed in, they might make it to millions, a few millions, but they'll never make it to the 8, the 20, the 30, the 40 millions. Just what I've learned over the years. If you think that could be true, give me a boom or a true in the chat bar. And here's some of the things I want to dial in today with you guys. A lot of the symptoms of scarcity. There's this whole thing here that is this scarcity mindset, right? People are afraid to invest. And you hear things like this: the price of gas is too high. Type in the chat bar, Who does not complain about gas? Type it in the chat bar, everybody. Who does not complain about gas? Me? Okay, I love it. No idea how much gas costs. Right. People who have money don't complain about gas. They don't care about gas. They don't pull. My wife and I, well, it hasn't been in a while because thank God for Instacart and all these things. They make life very convenient. But when we would go to Costco or something to pick up some stuff, I would look at the people in the Costco line and go, okay, you're there to save 10 cents. You just sat there for 35 minutes. I think you burned maybe more than the 10 cents of gas, but you don't value the time. And then I tell my wife, I had a vision of me getting out and standing in front of all the people waiting in the Costco lines, kind of doing a seminar right there, a training, like, everybody get out of your damn cars. Can I just help you think a different way? Or we think we have to work hard, right, to have freedom. Write this down, everybody. You don't have to work hard. You have to work different. Okay? You don't have to work hard. You got to work different. And we feel we have to choose between having time or money, because somewhere in your life, someone programmed you and said, time is money. No, time is a measurement that you regulate your day, and money is a frequency, a vibration of a value that you can use to trade for other things of value. Time is not money, okay? HI, human intelligence, is money. Human intelligence is money. And we believe the wealth struggle is a normal part of life. It's almost like a badge of honor when you get around people that are struggling. They're like, look at me. Oh, you're struggling? I'm struggling too. Let's have a little party together. And we never feel like we have enough, right? We're never satisfied. We never have that itch scratched. As we go here, when you elevate your mind, you elevate your wealth. And you have to have the power to create more massive personal wealth than you've ever dreamed of. Today, it really sucks because, you know, it used to be a big deal to be a millionaire. Today, if you don't become a millionaire, like, millionaire is like almost poverty anymore, at the cost of like the rate of everything going, right? Cars, material, food, anything. Can anybody type down something that's going down in price? I'd be just curious about that. Like, what's going down in price today? And the interesting fact, unless it's a commodity of some kind, like gas or gold or something like that, when the price goes up of, like, let's call it material, like if you go in Home Depot or Lowe's or any of these places and you're going to buy, let's say, nails, you guys all know a nail, bang it in a piece of wood, right? If you were to buy nails and the price went up, do you think the price ever goes down? Tell me in the chat bar. I don't know. I being in the construction field, I would go in and buy screws. I'll just tell you, when the price of screws went up, I've never watched the price of screws go down. It sets a new standard. So with this new standard, if you don't elevate your standard above it, well, then you're going to end up in that, what I would call wealth fatigue. Write that down, everybody. Wealth fatigue. Wealth fatigue is where you're fatigued on everything that's happening out there and it's restricting you from wealth. Okay. Let me tell you a quick little story. Because why should I be teaching you? I don't even know if I should be teaching you. The only thing I want to do is share with you really key wisdom that I learned that took me from being on my own at 15. And who else has been on their own really young? Type in too young in the chat bar. Type in too young in the chat bar. And when you're on your own at 15, you have to figure out, hey, Michelle Wade, how you doing? Nice to see you. You have to figure out how to survive. And I was taught by my dad to survive. It was a transactional game. Work hard. The amount of hours you work, you're going to get money, get paid more for the hours you work. And so that's what I did. That's what I did. And I was just talking about this with someone the other day. When I was 19, I had a townhouse and my dad co-signed on it for me, which I didn't know any different at 19. And my mortgage payment at 19 was like, $1,900. I think it was around $1,900 a month. And I was like, holy crap, which wasn't too bad when my brother lived there. But then when my brother moved out, I was stuck there with this $1,900 payment. Have any of you ever had a holy crap moment? Type in holy crap moment. And that was my like holy crap moment. Now, I had a high level of honor. My dad just passed away a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago or so. And he was really a code of honor. He was like integrity, loyalty. And I refused, Curtis, to let my dad, like me, ruin his credit. Was beyond something that could ever, it couldn't happen. I couldn't let it happen. So what did I do? I worked during the day as an electrician. Any trades people here? Type in trades. So I worked as an electrician during the day. And then at night, I would go and I would, especially this time of year, I always talk about the story, I would bang in these stakes to put Christmas trees on. And so I think one of the things about wealth is not that you have to work hard, but you do, I believe, if you want to scale big wealth, you have to have a relentless nature. If you believe that, type in relentless if you feel that way. Like you have to have a relentless nature. A relentless nature means you don't quit over the little things. You don't quit because all of a sudden you're thrown a problem. You don't throw your hands up in the air. You actually dig your feet in the ground. I'll talk more about this. And at that moment in time, I knew I had to beat the odds. This is my beautiful wife here. She's on tonight. We've been together since we're 15, and I'm level 53 right now. So you guys can do the math there. And this, I know what you're saying about this. All of you, you're like, that's a badass afro, and that's an amazing grandma who's no longer here no more. And this is my kids. So what I did know about back then was everyone around me was giving up. They were quitting. Do you guys know anybody in the world today is just quitting? Type in quitting in the chat bar. They're just giving up. And then as I went through life, like 2008, I experienced that. And it was the recession that they said, Matt, was the closest thing to the Great Depression. And that was kicking most people's asses. It was kicking their asses. And I had to navigate a lot through 2008, but I am proud to say, like, I never had a down year, never had a flat year. And the minimum amount of growth per year was $1 million. Now that's a big deal during a recession. So I do believe a lot of what I want to share with you tonight is like how I beat the odds so you could beat the odds. Okay. You don't learn how to train, how to fight when all of a sudden you're in a street fight. That's the wrong time to say, now I need a lesson. You learn to defend yourself so that you're prepared if you ever have to, okay? And part of this was really elevating my future. Now, this is probably about, I think maybe 17 years old, and I don't know, maybe this is a year ago or so. But I made a conscious decision, and I want you guys to write down conscious decision, because until you make a conscious decision, it does not go into the realm of reality that you're going to create. And I made a conscious decision back then. I said, you know what? I'm going to be debt-free by the time I'm 28. I wanted my wife and I to be debt-free. I'm not saying that's the right thing today. I'm not telling you shouldn't mortgage the shit out of yourself. I am telling you that at 28, it was a conscious, because I think my dad said he paid off his house and was debt-free, I think when he was 32 or 34. And I remember when I heard that, I was like, holy crap. Now, he was a Mason, so he was cut from the same blue collar thread. And what does any son want to do? They want to beat out their dad, right? So I wanted to beat him out and be debt free by the time I'm 28. And I made a clear choice. And what you're probably wondering tonight, like you would want to ask me, like, Mike, knowing what you know now, what would you do different? Well, this is what I did different. I pursued mind power and how to build wealth. I really wanted to understand the connection between massive wealth and your thinking process. And with my freedom, I've really created what I would call life by design, best life ever. And type in the chat bar, life by design, life by design. Because so many people have created a life by default and created what I would call becoming a victim versus a victor. And tonight, the training here is about helping you no longer be in that victim world. I know a lot of you wouldn't admit it, but when you're on with your friends, how things go, and oh, you know, the cost of this, the cost of that, you know, we want to get rid of that stuff. And through this thinking, this is some of the things that I've been able to create. Now, remember, I'm not sharing this to brag with you, but like, why believe me if I can't show you that I actually applied it? All right. I wish I could tell you like, oh, you know what? My dad was in this business and I took it over from him and he was doing $1 million and I took, no, this is from scratch, right? This is from scratch. Like no one was teaching me how to do it back then. No one was, it's like we had to figure it out. Later, I learned the value of hiring mentors and coaches and stuff. And who knew gold medal or lives in New Jersey? Type in gold medal. I'm still very proud of this. You know, we had 200 employees, 165 trucks. We did 32 million a year. And then in 2017, I sold it. Not because I didn't love it. It's because I elevated. I was growing above it. And it was very easy for me. I could have stayed in that company and we were tracking already for 40 plus million. By the time we sold, we were already tracking to hit 40 plus million. If I stayed a couple more years, we would have been 60, 75 million. And yeah, I would have kept being proud of growth, but it was changing my life and not changing the world. And I came to that realization because I was starting to figure out my soul's purpose was not just to change my life, it was change the world. And that helped me create this called CEO Warrior. If anybody knows CEO Warrior, type in Warrior in the chat bar. And this I built in about 5.5 years and under 6 years into the highest level training and implementation organization on planet Earth. And I'm very proud of it because we coached over 1,000 people. We had over 20,000 followers. And we created in less than 30 months, we created over 50 people sold their companies. And over 90% of them became decamillionaires. So I do believe that I'm a legacy builder. And I believe I've changed legacy, legacy, and legacy and beyond. And I want to share not just about this, I want to share the strategies. I'm going to get to the strategies that I want you to take and apply into your life in your world. And I've also applied these strategies and type in helpful if it's helpful, even if you heard it before, type in helpful if it's maybe a reminder for your power, for your strength, for your opportunity. Because like if this tattooed guy can do it, I promise you can do it too. And I learned how to also buy real estate along the way. This one sold 2023. I'm happy about it. It's a 10,000 square foot building. And it's really interesting. You know, just the other day I was telling somebody I'm working hard to sell this one. And then I changed it into not working hard, that I see it being sold. Aaron, I didn't even tell you and Jen today and everyone, but just like an hour ago, we're going back with an offer on this one. So that's kind of cool. The offer's pretty close to 5 million. So that's kind of neat. That went from trying to, wait a minute. I caught myself. I was like, I'm trying to sell that. I'm like, don't try to sell it. See it sold. Can you guys write a note for yourself? Don't try things, see things as they are done, as they are achieved. That's a big thing. You guys should throw an extra boom in the chat bar. I know you're trying to write, and I'm telling you to chat shit at the same time. I get it, right, Judy? Like, if you're in my world, a lot of stuff is happening at one moment. So I did learn how to apply that to real estate. I also learned that, like, you can never stop elevating yourself. The thing that I believe that I did different than most people is most people kept just learning skills to try to grow a company and money without learning the skills to grow themselves. It's been really a secret weapon, and I don't know why more people don't know it. And actually, I was just on a call before, and the person said to me, did you guys ever hear this comment? Success leaves clues. Did you ever type in clues in the chat bar? Did you ever hear this stuff? And I'm like, yeah, but like, none of you have time to play. Hey, Ethan, nice to see you. None of you have time to play Dora the Explorer, do you? Like, I don't want you to go find a clue. I want to give you a strategy, right? Like, I don't want you to go sniffing with that dog. And I'm still building today. We created Food Dog Group, is probably why a lot of you are here. We created another company called Business Forge. Business Forge is a company we created because I wanted to partner with companies, because I know that I can help. If I partner with people, I can help create wealth and legacy faster for them than if I coached them. So I decided to partner with them. I think one of them's on here, Cody and Melanie. We're partners together, you and me and Aaron and Jen. Maybe you could put in the chat bar, like, how long we've been partnered together and what's it been like in such a short period of time. And I learned that there's always a next level. There's always a next level. And I keep building my level so I could keep changing your life. That's why we have books like this, like Money Cure and Superhuman, Human Engineer, Conquering Fear. And if you've read Mind Power, can you type in Mind Power in the chat bar if you read Mind Power? Well, it's normally there. I think it's under here somewhere. I'm super proud of that book because it tells you how to evolve yourself. And this is the impact we're making. Like, we are an organization where freedom, mastery, and legacy comes to life. That's exactly what we are. And by us building tools and programs and resources and events and trainings, right? We have members all over the world, which feels really good because we're not impacting a state, we're impacting the globe. And that's part, our focus, our target. And maybe you write down the word target, because I want to know your target for 2024. Our target is to change, to impact 1 million people or more in a decade or less in 100 countries or more. And I will tell you, smile face, we are tracking for that. And you might know some of these people, and I think it's important because, again, it's about, okay, Mike, you're going to give us information. Like, okay, sounds good what you're saying. What do other people think about your information? If you guys know Kevin Harrington, type in Kevin in the chat bar. He's one of the original sharks of Shark Tank. He said we cracked the code. I take that. That's really, really good, right? I'm proud of that. Mike McAllowitz, if you know Mike McAllowitz, type in Mike. He says Mike is has been transformative in my life. What about Kevin O'Leary? He's a fun one. He's exactly like he is in person, is on the show. He said, we're the real deal. And then if you know Jay Abraham, then you know one smart dude. He said, transforming individual enrichment from the inside out. So let's talk about what we're going to do over the next hour or so time here. I want to give you the secret strategies to unleash wealth, okay? Your wealth. So you can achieve boundless success, and then you no longer have to tell your family, your kids, or anybody that they have to do without, but they can do with, all right? I'll unlock some proven steps here, and I want to bridge the gap with my thinking. I want to bridge the gap between your present situation and your desired destination. If we're tracking, this sounds pretty good. Can you type in, let's do it, so I know? And we want to master actionable steps for reshaping your belief about wealth creation. Because I bet some of you, you don't have to say it, but tell me if it, like, you know, a friend that feels guilty about winning more. Just type in guilt if that, you know, somebody that might apply to, like, guilty because you're winning more. Because you're not suffering, you should feel bad, right? Look at you, Mr. Successful, Mrs. Successful, right? And I want you to learn about the current resistance that's blocking your path to achieving the wealth you want. And we'll replace these obstacles with some action steps and create, what do we want to do? We want to create massive abundance, massive abundance. All right, let's do it. Strategy number one, it always starts here. And it sounds simplistic, but very few people ever do it. They rarely do it. We have to identify the gap, right? Here's the gap right here. And inside the gap, we have to know where you're at right now. Where are you at today without sugarcoating it? Well, let me ask a trick question here. When any of you that are not new in my world, when you think of me personally, do you think of me as sugarcoating? Tell me in the chat bar. Do you think about me as sugarcoating? Now, not everybody loves my method, but I rather deliver a hurtful truth than a comforting lie, because there's too many people hugging people into suffering. Do you get that? They're hugging people into suffering. I don't want to hug you into suffering. I want to empower you into success. So we got to know where you're at. Are you broke? Are you tired? Are you fatigued? Are you exhausted? Are you semi-successful? A little successful? Are you complacent? And the next thing is, you got to know where you want to go. Now, a lot of people say, well, I want to make more money. Is making more money a clear target? Tell me in the chat bar, everybody. Is it a clear target? No. If I gave you 50 cents, you made more money. So you have to be relentless in the pursuit of what you want. Massive results require massive action. I don't believe massive action is Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. First off, that's called a job. Okay? That's a job. That's not a passion. That's why I was sharing this morning when I was talking to a group, you know, I think this book has wisdom in it, but I also don't think it makes any sense. Type in, did you ever read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week? Type in 4 hour. Type in 4 hour. I think it's a ridiculous book. Why? Because if you only want to do something for 4 hours, I want to write the book like Kill Your Hours or Kill the Stuff That Sucks in Your Life book. Aaron, let's make a note. We'll write something like that. Kill what sucks in your life. Because if you hate it that bad, don't do it for even 4 hours. I'm not here because I have to do this. I'm here because I want to do it. And a matter of fact, Bart, who's on here, I went and spoke to his group today, and I had to get there by 8 o'clock, which I was there at 8:05. I had to wake up at 6, which Judy, I think I vomited in my mouth because I never wake up at 6 o'clock ever. But I didn't have to do that because I had to. I did it because I wanted to serve. Same reason I'm here. So if you could get yourself to know, hang on, where am I at clearly? Where do I really want to go? Not like, hey, I'm going to be a decamillionaire and you don't believe it. You got to believe you can go there, get there, and do it, and you're willing to do massive action to get there. Now, you might need some skills. You might need some mind reframing. You might need some direction. That's possible. But if you have massive action, you're going to figure all of that out. Tell me about number one. Is this key? Type something in the chat bar so I know. Tell me about number one. How many of you need to do this right now? And then I'm going to give you one more piece of it because I don't know if I built it in, but it's important. Here's the next piece that I think everybody should consider. Who's in a relationship of some kind? You have a spouse, a partner, type it in the chat bar. You have a wife, a husband, whatever you have, okay? The only way this works is you both have to agree on where you're at, and you both want to be aligned where you want to go. When I decided to grow and scale gold medal, and I had a business partner in that company, Rob Zadati, and we said to ourselves, before we do this plan, we must both go home, talk to our wives, and say, this is what we want to do. Are you on board with that? And if either one of us came back and said, no, the partner doesn't want to do it, we can't do it. Okay? Can't do it. We both, of course, my wife says, absolutely, I trust you if that's what you do. Boom, we did it. Why? Because it's what called, write this down, everybody. Someone type it in a chat bar. Co-creation. Co-creation is the ability of more than one person believing in the outcome that we're going to get. When you have co-creation and both people say we're going to build that, it builds faster. Now, if you don't have co-creation, you probably have what's called the rubber band effect. The rubber band effect is like, well, imagine this was a rubber band where you want to scale and grow and the other person's comfortable. Tell me if anybody can relate to that. Type relate in the chat bar. And it's pulling, and then eventually one person lets go and snap, right? So what we want to do is create this co-creation focus of going there. That's key. I did the same thing when we decided to grow CEO Warrior and change an industry. We went home again. I went to my wife and I said, I want to change the industry. Are you all in on this? Because if you're not all in, we're all out. That's the way it's got to go. Guess what? She said, I'm all in on it. Boom. We went and we changed the whole industry. So if number one makes sense, give me a big boom in the chat bar. Let's go for number two. Let's go for number two. And if you're getting value, can you type in value? Even if it's a reminder, maybe it's a new empowerment, or maybe it's just an action step you got to get done. You know, the new year is coming up. And Curtis, most people, just to be blunt, they already mess up the first day of their year. Because New Year's Eve, they go out, they party, they drink, they dance, they get home, they sleep late. It's the first day of the year. They're fatigued. They did nothing. They started nothing. And that's how the year gets started. That's the first year. That's the first day of people's year, right? Don't let that happen for you. Guess what? 2024, as far as I'm concerned, it's already started for you. You want to slam into the year with momentum. You don't want to crawl into the year. Let's go for strategy number two. We want to expand your wealth horizons. Wealthy people think big. They think big. They also think different. You'll know how if you're around people that are thinking big, they are saying things to you like, wow, that's amazing. That's incredible. I can't wait to see what you build. If you're around small thinking people, they're using the language of, why would you do that? I don't believe that's possible. Nobody wants that. Has anybody experienced this before? Where you're around people and it's like it's a candle, right? And they're like this. You're trying to grow something and everyone else around you, family and friends that don't want you to expand, they're going like a, they're trying to blow out your candle. Well, let me explain, Bart, how to make sure a candle doesn't get blown out. Do you ever try to blow out a torch? It's hard to blow out a torch, Judy. You turn it up. Shh. Thing's got like a purple blue flame. Shh. Like it could cut through steel. You try to put that over your mouth, burn a hole right through your face. You can't blow out a torch. Your job is to become a torch so that they either move away or decide to join the flame. So I want to challenge you to think bigger than ever before. Stop fearing what you see and start becoming curious. Everybody's fearing this AI and, the robot, and you're going to wake up one day. They made a movie. I'm still trying to remember the name of the movie where, all the electronics, like the woman went to make toast and it ate her and the toast, the blender chewed her hand up and stuff. It was that crazy movie. And it, like, all the electronics took over the world. Like, why don't we just start to get curious? Because if you're not curious, it's going to be hard to build bigger. And you want to believe in your bigger vision. There's a difference between telling a story and believing your story. If you're telling a story, it's like, yeah, someday I'm going to be debt free and I'm going to buy all this property and all these things. The bigger vision and believing in it is, I know where I'm going and I reverse engineered it. Okay? The wrong time to build the plane is when you're falling out of the sky. Don't try to build a plane while you're falling. Write down on your piece of paper, reverse engineer. Reverse engineer is understanding that there's proven blueprints to do it. Okay? There's proven blueprints. And you want to implement new actions for new results. You guys know the theory, right? Doing the same things the same way that you always did it and expecting a change is called what? Type it in the chat bar. What's it called? Insanity. Yeah. You want to do things different than you did before. You want to do things different. You want to think different. You want to act different. And one of the biggest things is to find other growth-minded people to keep you accountable so you don't reset to comfort. People that are challenging you for your next level. They want to see you stretch yourself. People that are okay if you're building and scaling and like one of your feet fall off. Like they're like, I got a zip tie. I'll just zip tie that bitch back on your leg for you. That's the people you want to be around. That's the people I like to be around. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm around, that picnic or that party where the big conversation is just about like American Idol or something, like that's fun for about 3 seconds. And then I'm sitting there wondering how I could rebuild the person's house or something, right? Who can relate to that? Type in relate, right? Because you're a builder, a creator, an empire builder. All right, let's go for number 3, everybody. So creating wealth vibrations. This is a really good picture here of wealth vibration. What happens is, I want you to think about this. What behaviors, and I want you to share in the chat bar, we're connected together tonight. We're all friends. There's no judgments, no right or wrong answers here. But what behaviors are pulling you away from wealth? Type in the chat bar. What's a behavior pulling you away from wealth today? Is it you complain about your job, or you don't think money's easy to come by? Let's see what we got here. My negative thoughts, fear, right? Fear is, what if I do this and I don't get it? Hey, Jason, nice to see you. Worry, my thinking, playing it safe, right? Like, hey, I got $10 in the cookie jar. Like, I'm just good with the 10, right? What else we got? Scattered focus. Okay. Shiny objects, we call that, Bart. It's like, man, maybe I'll start that business and I'll open a pizza place and I'll do a mailing business. And I think I'm going to do real estate. And they become, what do they call it? A jack of all trades. Finish the rest of the sentence in the chat bar for me. A master of none. Is that the deal? We got fear, inconsistency, procrastination, right? Like procrastination, just so you know, is fear in disguise. That's what procrastination is. It's like, hey, I know I should do it, but I don't want to do it because, and it's also a decision-making criteria. False stories. All right, so you guys could see You're not very different than anybody else here. So if you were to make one decision today, if you were just to choose this, what we call a mantra, if you don't know what a mantra is a sequence of words or a phrase that you say over and over that it becomes your belief system and it's your only reality. I used to every morning, I used to wake up, and after I took a shower, I would take a black magic marker, Bart, and I would write right here on my wrist, I would write 5 million. And all day long, I would read 5 million. Now, I know what you're thinking, Bart. Thank God you didn't tattoo that, right? Because I'd have lines of like numbers crossed out on my arm tattooed. And then before you know it, I was hitting 5 million, and then I changed it every morning after I showered. 10 million, 10 million, 10 million. And that became a mantra, which became my only reality that I knew. Then it was 30 million, 30 million, 30 million. Now tell me, if you woke up every day, and I'm not telling you to write on your arm, because if you have young kids, they're going to start writing on themselves. But if that's the worst thing they do, you're all good. But tell me, if you took on one simple practice of replacing your fear with writing the destination, what do you think would happen? Type in the chat bar. Now, someone I ran into, this is probably a decade ago, Curtis, someone said to me, they said, Mike, money's not everything. Did anybody ever tell you this shit before? And I said this, Judy, I said, perfectly well said from a broke ass individual, right? Yeah, money may not be everything, but let me tell you something. When you need your teeth fixed, right? You need a leg, you need health or something dialed in, you need to help your parents. I'll tell you what, I bet some of you would think money's pretty good in that moment in time, right? So what can you replace it with? I want you to think about that. Now, you have to understand, in order to stop this insanity circle of what I would call struggle, you want to understand how struggle happens, right? Behaviors become a pattern. A pattern becomes a habit. Habits become a vibration. How does this happen? Do I got any people that chew their fingernails like it's a habit? Type in fingernails. Are you one of those people you're just like always biting away? Well, there was a behavior one time where something was happening, Vicky. You were nervous in a moment. Something was happening in life, and your finger went to your mouth, and you just said, I'm just gonna, maybe there was a hangnail, and in that moment, you pulled it. In that moment of fear or struggle or something. And what happened is, now, next time you got a little nervous, you're like, well, I'll bite my fingernail. And then what happened is, this became a habit that you just figured if you started biting your fingernail, well, if anything does happen, I'm already satisfying, because I'm like trying to occupy my mind from being nervous by this habit. And then this habit becomes a vibration where you live in a state of nervousness where not only are you biting your fingernail, you're not getting the outcome you desire. And that's the vibration is of fear, nervous, anxiety, and stuff like this. When you break that pattern and you replace it with a new one, and you go back in time and say, well, wait a minute, I'm not 5 years old no more. I'm not scared like that no more. I don't need that no more. Let me replace it with something completely different. Then all of a sudden you shift the habit. But what's even more important for you to understand is you shift the vibration of your thinking. If you read the Mind Power book here, if not, we can give you, Aaron, maybe give them a link. Have one of the team put the link in where we cover shipping. I mean, you cover shipping. We'll give you the book for free for being here tonight, okay? And in the book, there's this section, and guys, I'm not making money off books, right? So it's to help you out. I think there might even be a virtual version you get for free if you need that. But there's a section in there called Thought, Word, and Deed, okay? And thought is what I'm thinking, word is what I say, deed is the outcome that I do. If your thought, how many of you just have a hard time sleeping because your mind doesn't stop racing? Type in mind in the chat bar, right? The mind, they call it the monkey mind. It's just going and going and going. But that mind, like, help me understand this. That mind at night, do you think it's focused on more creation or chaos? Type in the chat bar, creation or chaos? Yeah, it's chaos, right? It's chaos. And a lot of times it's chaos because you're fighting the conflict of your mind and what you want it to create, where you think you would be by now. So I just want you guys to write a note. Let's start tackling these habits. Let's start tackling them. Let's go for number 4, because I got a lot to cover. If you're in the game to stay with me till I'm done, just type in, let's do it. If you're going to stay with me, I don't know what would be more important. If the kids are up, tell them put themselves to sleep or let them wait and listen. Okay. So we want to build a wealth plan. Now, to build a wealth, it's a process. Okay. Write down this: wealth is a process. You have to have a vision, and your vision has to be where you're going to visualize this wealth. Anything you don't believe will happen with it will become resistance. You then have to have expansion. You must expand your mind to grow with your wealth. If you don't expand your mind, okay, I think I typed something on Facebook the other day, like your bank account, and this is going to be a different way of framing it. Your bank account is your report card of your thinking. You may want to write that down, everybody. Your bank account is a report card of your thinking. And then we have to have protection, because you have to protect yourself and your wealth through diversification. You guys know that. All your eggs in one basket. If a rock hits it, it kills a lot of eggs. That's not rocket science, but it is for some of you because you're not doing it. Okay? You got to have diversification. Now, diversification, even though we're not going to go into, and I do think it's important to understand things, I'm not going to tell you you should be in stocks or real estate or other investments or business. What I will share with you is this that changed the game for me. What changed the game for me is the day I took on this identity. See, I used to have the identity of a worker, then a business owner, then an operator. But when I took on the identity of a wealth investor, everything changed for me. Now, some of you might be sitting there saying, wait a minute, I'm not a wealth investor. Well, do you guys think love is a level of wealth in your life? Type in love if you do. Yeah. Love's a level of wealth. So, and if you invest love in other people, you are a wealth investor, because one level of wealth is love. Another one is connection. Another one is money. Another part of wealth investing is businesses and real estate. So if you guys consider, tell me in the chat bar. Now, I'm not saying you're going to take it on like this tonight. There's a process, but we could start working there. If you woke up tomorrow, well, I hope you wake up tomorrow. I hope I wake up tomorrow. Every day I wake up, I'm like, I'm alive. Here I am. Let's do it again. Let's help people. When you wake up tomorrow and you say, I am a wealth investor, tell me what's going to change in your life once you believe it. Remember, you got to repeat the pattern. Anything you say, that's a mantra. Repeat it over and over enough, it becomes your truth. So when you do this, tell me what's going to change for you. What's going to change? Perspective in the approach. Yeah. I will change. Yes. Because you will look at it as, I'm not a business owner. I'm a wealth investor. My business is part of my wealth portfolio. My house is part of my wealth portfolio. My bank account is part of my wealth portfolio. So you'll step back and start thinking like Warren Buffett. Let me look at all my assets, all my things. This changes everything. So if you look at the triangles, we have a vision, we have an expansion, and we have a protection. Just keep to these core things, everybody. And this is going to help you move forward. Let's go to number 5 here. If you're getting massive value, can you type in massive value for me? I want to make sure I'm over delivering here for you. I wish somebody did this training for me a couple decades ago. I really wish somebody did. That's why I'm doing it for you. I want to, you know what learning, growing pains are? Did you ever hear this shit? People say, oh, my business having growing pains. No. You don't have growing pains. You have lack of education. Okay. Do you guys get that? You don't have growing pains. You have lack of education. I want to give you the education so you don't have to have it. Okay. So use energy to elevate your wealth. You want to cultivate a positive energy towards wealth creation through these affirmations and visualization. Now, I'm not one to tell you affirmations nothing more than a mantra, a frequency of word. What all these things are is a visualization is a picture, okay? And affirmations and or mantras is a emotion or an outcome of the picture. So it's the fuel of the picture. So if I see wealth and I'm like, wealth is everywhere, right? Wealth is easy. Wealth can be created at will. Then I see the picture, I'm putting the words to fuel the picture. That creates a vibration of energy. Now, direct energy effectively by prioritizing and focusing on high energy. This is so important here. High energy, high impact actions, maximum return energy investment. Do you think it's possible? You guys tell me. Is it possible you're putting energy on the right things at the wrong time? Type something in the chat bar to let me know. Is that possible? I see some head nods from some of you. Like the right energy, but it's the wrong time. You must identify what is the high impact item that will give me the greatest return and focus there. Otherwise, you'll be back to this shiny object syndrome. I work really hard not to get sucked into shiny objects, especially since every single day, people are bringing me shiny objects. Like every day, because of the world I'm in, people are bringing me an idea. How about this? How about that? How about this? Our goal, sift and sort through shiny objects as fast as we can. And we only look for high-valued partnerships. High-valued partnerships. We don't get sucked into there's a tea leaf that is going to change the universe. We don't get sucked into that stuff. And avoid stagnation, everybody, by being open to new ideas on your wealth creation. The worst thing I feel you can do is say, I already know that. That's the worst thing I think people do. When people are sharing something, I don't care if I heard it 1,000 times, I ask a question about it again. Because I'm constantly looking to reframe my own program, right? You know the theory, the cup's half empty, the cup is half full. I like to live this, just destroy the cup, destroy the cup. Don't even have a cup, okay? There's nothing to fill up, nothing to empty, only things to explore. That's the state I like to be in. I just want to explore. Type in explore if that's like a aha for you, like in a waking, like that was like, okay, I get it, right? Otherwise, you're always feeling full or you're always feeling empty. Well, let's just feel we're here right now. We're learning right now. Okay, let's go for number 6 here. We're moving right along. So you got to awaken your mind to wealth. People dream of wealth, but very few move beyond it. But you need to do more than just consume knowledge. Same thing here. I don't want you just to consume knowledge and model others who have pursued the same path. You have to seek an awakening. Write down awakening, everybody, on your paper. An awakening. You can only take massive action on something that is a complete new and awakened belief. And an awakened belief, right? Then you'll take massive action on it. Then you'll go, okay, I know what to do next. Now I'm going to move forward. I don't want you to be here because you had a good time with me tonight. I want you to be here because you're leaving with a new understanding and some action steps that you're going to do before the new year. That's going to change the catalyst of your 2024. So you hit me up and you go, that has started to change the game for me. That's what I want. That thinking process, idea, new way to regulate changed everything. But you have to awaken your mind to wealth. Now remember, you probably have a timeline of programs from your parents. Tell me something that your parents shared with you or repeated to you over and over that you know did not serve you to create wealth. What did they tell you? Well, you know, there's starving children all over the world. What else did they tell you? Got to work hard to make money, right? Only the rich are bad. The rich are greedy. Life isn't fair. Money doesn't grow on trees. What else did they tell you? Those people with the money, they're the stuck up ones. Tell me, what else was the embedded money doesn't come easy? You know, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. You don't need that much. Don't you have enough? What else? Think about the things you've been taught as a kid. Oh, that's a good one. I'm not the ATM machine. What do I look like? Go get a job. You got to work hard. It's hard work or not at all, not half-ass, right? Starving kids. Money is bad. There you go, Vicky. Money is evil. Money is evil. If you don't study, you will be a daily labor. Okay. So we want to know that's what we were programmed with. And now you get to say to yourself, wait, do I want that to be true for me anymore? Is that true? Is this true? I'm curious. Give me a yes or no. Now you're going to be conflict because you might have said it the other day, but now you're awakened and empowered. So you're going to probably say different. Tell me if this is true. You need money to make money. True or false? It's false. But some of you were just conflicted, weren't you? Right? Some of you were conflicted. No, Mike, it takes money. No. It doesn't take money to make money. It doesn't take money to make wealth. Shit, if you had one new idea that solved one big problem on earth, someone's going to pay for that idea. They're going to give you a lot of money for that solution, right? A ton of money. Now, knowledge is what? Type it in the chat bar. Knowledge is what? No, knowledge is not power. See, you know a lot of people with a lot of knowledge and do nothing with it, which means it's no power. Applied knowledge is power. Applied, the application of knowledge, right? The application of it. All right, let's go for number 7. You guys are doing amazing here. Okay, strategy 7, the secret ingredient. So wealth is an identity. It's an identity, which a lot of us have not been born into the identity. And you've been programmed with an identity of, you know, don't be greedy and struggle and all this stuff. So that's been your identity. But if you talk to wealthy people, you'll see they have a different identity on how they stand. I was just sharing with someone today or the other day, like, I always know when I'm around a really wealthy person. You know how? How do you guys think I know I'm around a wealthy person? Is it because they have like a big diamond watch? They pull up in a Lamborghini. They got a tie, a sophisticated look and feel. What do you think? How do I know that they're really wealthy? I mean, they want to connect. Okay. Anybody else want to give a guess? Real wealthy? I'll share. They don't flaunt it. Vicky, what I learned about the wealthiest people, they like literally have nothing and want nothing. They want nothing. They like, they wear a bunch of my friends that are wealthy, like they wear pretty much the same clothes every day. Now they got the same color. They change it and wash it, but they don't have fancy watches. They could give two shits. They don't care about the car they have. All they live for is the experience. That's all they want is the experience. Now, yes, they take money to go visit places, experience things, but they don't need all of that material stuff. Now, I'm not telling you the material stuff is bad. I'm not. Some people, that's their identity. Like, look at me. You now feel I'm cool. Okay. So there's a difference between wanting something and significance. Do you guys agree? Type in agree or disagree with me. I'm not here to have you agree. I'll just tell you that most of the people I found, they don't want to be attached to nothing. I find myself in that same thing. I want nothing. I want nothing. Now, if you don't see yourself as wealthy, I'll tell you what, you probably won't be wealthy. Wealthy is a creation of thinking. Wealthy is the ability to create. I am wealthy right now tonight, not because I exited 2 companies in a 5-year period. I'm wealthy tonight because you showed up and I'm able to share wisdom. And my goal and target is that one of you take a new piece of wisdom that changes your life in generations. I'm very wealthy to be here tonight. That's my wealth regulator. So, but I'm not here to tell you one's right or wrong. I'm here for you to identify, okay, what does it look like for you to see yourself as wealthy? And manifesting a wealth identity. You don't just wake up in the morning and say it. You got to live it. You got to believe it. You got to reprogram it. You got to remove the resistance from it. And your bank account will catch up to your identity. It will. As you create this new wealth identity, your bank account will expand with it and you'll feel more comfortable. You'll feel maybe safer. Maybe you'll feel like you have that financial security. Most people are really financially secure. They just spent their financial security on stuff. That's all, right? But most of you already are extremely successful. You just haven't defined what you have as success. Okay, let's go. Number 8, pretty sure this is going to be our last one. We're going to finish strong with you guys. But let's pause 1 minute, just a quick second. Tell me give me one thing that you got so far tonight that like changed, shift, got you thinking different. What is it? And if I shook you up too much, maybe see if there's a middle finger emoji and give that to me. I'm okay with that too. But what's the number one thing that's coming through where you're like, Mike, it's going to change everything for me. Let's see. Wealth is an identity. Don't try things. Boom, 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 boom. See them done. Manifest a wealth identity. Yes, Matt. When you change the habit, oh man, you guys are amazing. It's moving so fast. You change the vibration, wealth identity, wealthy identity, seek deep awakening. Yes, Hank, Bart. I rather deliver a hurtful truth than a comforting lie. Very nice. Oh man, you guys are on fire tonight. Co-creation. Boom. Associate with like-minded people. 100%. 100%. Steps 5 through 7. Biggest impact. Thank you, Curtis. Habits become vibration. All right. You guys are doing amazing. Just so I know, and I don't know if we were planning or not, does anybody want the replay of this? Type in replay if you would want the replay. I didn't decide with my team we were going to do it or not, but if you would watch it and share it with somebody on your team and they would get value, then okay. All right. Aaron, we'll give them a replay. Okay. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, and all the other 75 different celebrations of the universe. We'll make sure you get it. Okay. All right. Let's do strategy number 8. Surround yourself with wealth-minded people. Now, hang on a second. First, you have to examine who are you surrounding yourself with now? Okay, what does that circle look like today? And is that circle moving you forward or pulling you back. Now, here's the thing that I want to share with you. First off, I think some of the gurus of the universe might have been a little wrong. Finish this one for me. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first what? Tell me in the chat bar. Starts with the first what? Decision, step. Okay. I believe it. I think Sun Tzu was maybe a little stupid. Is what I'm thinking. I think a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first right step, not just stepping. Like, what if the first step is off a cliff? Like, you could die, right? The other thing is the theory of it's who you're around. Now, it's not just who you're around, and I want you to write this down. It's how you're around them. I thought of this theory when I was watching a lot of really smart people. And so let's just say this is like a lot of really brilliant people. And I've been around a lot of really smart people who have become my friends over the years, like, Kevin Harrington and Jay Abraham, a whole bunch of really cool people. And then I watch people go and hang out around these cool people and never ask a question, never open up their mouth, or they go in and they're just takers, not givers. I think there's a big lesson about that, about how you hang around people. When I first met Kevin Harrington, I had set up a call with him, the original shark of Shark Tank. And as soon as I got on a call with Zoom with him, I said, Kevin, I want to get something clear right now. I need nothing from you. I'm not here to sell you nothing. I need nothing from you. And I probably said this if I could think back. And you've done some great things, but I'm not a starstruck guy. Okay. I'm not one that runs around and licks the lizard's feet, if you know that term, right? I'm not a lizard feet licker. I don't believe if I rub elbows with you, it makes me brilliant or not. I believe my ability to think different and step out of my comfort zone, that's what makes different. And he turned around to me, and I hope you find value in this. And he said, well, first he was like, why are we here? He's like really confused. Like, why are we on this call? And he says, nobody's ever said that to me ever. And I was like, well, of course, because there's more takers than givers. I said, I got an opportunity that came, and I think it might fit you. It doesn't fit me, and I want nothing in return. I just want to hand it to you. If it's a fit, cool. And if not, and he goes, holy crap. He's like, yeah, I think this is a fit for something my son does. So let's connect. And I was like, okay. And I was like, boom. And then after that, we've become a friendship, because a friendship is not keeping score, and it's not taking from someone else. That's called abuse, not a friendship. So I want you to think about that when you're surrounding yourself with people. Be willing to serve them as much as you can first before you expect to be served in return, and stop tallying scores. So many of this world's trying to tally a score. And that's kind of this point. They say you're the average of the people. No, it's not who you're with. It's how you're with them. It's how you're with them. And it always blows my mind, because every time, well, first off, myself, my team, my wife, my son, Aaron, and all of us, like, we still invest between 150 and 200,000 a year in our own personal education. And when I'm on with someone, I don't care if I show up to their training event or something and they say, anyone got a question? Now, when we show up, a couple of them go, all right, Mike, what's your question? And I go, okay, well, I could wait for someone else and we'll see how many crickets make noise. But I don't wait for crickets. I'm going to jump in. Here's a question. If no one asked, I'm coming in with another question. Because I believe if you're not asking when the opportunity's there, even one question, the fail-safe question, I don't even know a question to ask. What should I be asking you? Boom, there's your fail-safe question. Tell me what you just took away from this thing, because I am a believer that one of your protective mechanisms or vehicles going into 2024, which is going to be an amazing opportunity for a lot, and the purge for a lot. Did any of you watch the movie The Purge? Type in purge in the chat bar. Creepy as shit. it's really creepy. But I don't know, maybe it would work. Maybe it would work today to purge. Well, it's like 24 hours, that kind of population control there. It's really creepy though. But the fact about it is there is this balance scale of opportunity and purge. Okay. And you have better chances of not being purged being around right people that are thinking different. We call them, and I'm curious how many of you are on here that think of it. Like when I think of people in my world, I think of rebels, I think of unicorns, I think of people, it's like that Nike commercial, people that think different. Are you a rebel, a unicorn, or somebody that thinks different? Type it in the chat bar. What are you one of those badasses, right? Yeah, it seems like who's attracted to our world is that type of people. Okay, last thing I want to cover with you guys. I hope it's okay. We do have training coming up. I hope, normally I share this in the beginning, but I was on such a roll and so many of you that I see on here are already registered to come anyway. But we do have a kick-ass training coming up in January. It is virtual. It's 3 days. It's virtual. Matter of fact, we have a promotion special. I think it's 50% off, right, Aaron? Is that the deal? Well, I'm glad it is because I just said it. So it's 50% off right now. If you take advantage of it today, it's going to be 3 days. It's virtual. We got my man and friend Jay Abraham coming to speak. Super excited. We got Mike McAllowitz. If you know Mike, type in Mike in the chat bar. He's brilliant, good friend of mine. We got Kevin Harrington speaking. My son is speaking. Aaron's speaking. My wife is speaking, and I am speaking. This, if you just want to know what this event is, this is identity, period. It's called Change the Channel. Greatness awaits. And I'm going to give you a bonus if you sign up tonight. You're going to want to wait just 3 more minutes while I explain it to you. So, and I'm not here to convince you guys. If it's a fit, cool, come. If it's not, we don't beg people to change their lives. I'm just giving an invitation. We made it as affordable as possible. If you don't come, you should send your team or send us somebody that you care about. And if there's somebody in the world that you really care about, you can't afford whatever the lowest ticket is, a couple $100. Well, tell us why you think they should come. I'll send them to it myself. I don't want anybody to suffer. I want to help anybody that will show up for 3 days here. It's 3 days. It's identity, to shift your identity, to make sure 2024 is unlike any year you've ever done. If you go to the page, click on the link, they'll post it again. You're going to see amazing, all the amazing stuff it covers. And there's different levels and value. And I hope you'll come hang out with us for 3 days. Give me 3 days. I will bring everything along with our whole team to expand you. Now, I have thrown at my team. If it's okay, I'm going to take this down because I want to see all of you right now. Okay, there you all are. I was telling Aaron before and my wife, like, this was going to be our last training of the year, virtual training masterclass like this. And then my dad passed away just the last couple weeks ago. And that's never an amazing experience if any of you experienced it before. And my dad was that type of guy that just like, he gave probably even more than he should because people he gave a piece and people took a couple pieces. But in dedication of him, I thought, you know what, I'll do one more training this year between Christmas and the new year. A team put the date in. I don't remember the exact date. And I'm calling it Synergized Exit. Synergized Exit. It's going to be 2 hours long. And I'm going to teach everything I thought about, think about, did about, everything from an experience share on how I exited both companies in a 5-year period and how you might think about that stuff. And I'm doing this for my dad, for you guys. And it is 100%. There is a small fee for it. I think you could pick the fee. I think it's like you could pick $10, $25, $50, or $100. It's 100% charity based. So we're going to take all the money that's made from it. So hopefully you could afford at least $10 to attend. I'm gonna take all the money. We're gonna split it up. Oh yeah, it's a donation. We're gonna split it up between St. Jude's, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and Wounded Warriors. Okay, 3 great charities. They give wishes to people that maybe would never have it. Handles St. Jude does a lot of really good work, and Wounded Warriors for vets. Do we have any veterans on here? Can you type in veteran? I'm sure there is. Thank you for your service. So that's what we're going to do. And it's going to be called Synergized Exit. You must be live on video to be on it, because I'm not going to talk to any blank screens. I'm just not going to do that. And there will be no recording for this one, because it is a special training. And I feel if people want to attend it, they'll make the donation and they'll show up. I promise that 2 hours time will be worth millions of dollars to you. If not, well, then if you make the 10 or 25 or 50 or 100 donation, you don't think it's value, I'll give you back the 100 and I'll double it and I'll give the donation myself. We know that will not happen, because I'm going to bring you guys some really magic. And there's a lot of really smart people out there today talking about exits and stuff. But I'm going to pull back the curtain, and I'm not going to hide any shit from you guys. I'm going to share with you exactly what I thought about. A lot of brilliant people are sharing a little piece, but they're not giving you the whole buffet. I'm going to give you the whole fucking buffet in 2 hours. So you're going to have to bring extra. Maybe you need Elon Musk's link thing that he's putting in your brain to do it. And so for you guys on here, I don't even know if I'm going to promote that, but love for you to do that. And if you purchase a ticket, well, then you'll get that link to do that donation and that stuff. All right, everybody, we did it. Type in what was amazing for you. It was a real honor for me to serve you guys tonight. We'll make sure you get this replay no matter what. And I hope you'll join us at Change the Channel, or at least maybe buy a ticket for someone else that deserves or wants to spend 3 days with us, so we could change their life and change the world. So everybody, boom, thank you. Have a great night. If I don't talk to you before Christmas or holiday, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday.